Hey everyone, it's Simon from Higher Plane Games with a review of The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. This game is available on PlayStation 4, which is the footage you see on your screen, Nintendo Switch, and if you live in Japan only, PlayStation Vita as well. The game was released by Nipponichi, and they have like a little subsidiary collection of games that are 2D adventures that focus on like specific game mechanics, and this is like their latest version of this selection of games. And quite often actually I found lately that I've enjoyed these series much more than their proper full-blown RPGs. The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince is a 2D side-scrolling puzzle adventure with platforming elements. You play as the Liar Princess, who is actually a wolf in disguise, and a lot of the key game mechanics around this is transforming from wolf to princess to guide the blinded prince that you blinded as the wolf and then have felt guilty for because actually you was in like a star-crossed lover story at the beginning. You're now guiding this prince to a witch to hopefully cure his sight and give him his eyes back. The beauty of it though is that underscored throughout all of this, and it's played out like a storybook where the pages turn as conversation unfolds, and that merges beautifully into the excellent graphical design that is throughout this whole entire game. You've got this like guilty, I'm with the guy that I love, but I've actually ruined his life and I'm living a lie because he doesn't know that I'm a wolf. So there's a lot of like proper folklore storytelling going on, and I really like that aspect of the game because it meant that every interaction that you do kind of you feel slightly guilty for it all at the same time. But as with all Dark Tales, there's a lot of beauty to it, and that's what I find a lot of the Japanese folklore games do so well. This game handles really nicely in a 2D environment, and a lot of the puzzles that come out, because it's more puzzle focused than action focused, this game revolve around you transforming from a wolf to a princess, a princess to a wolf, to be able to clear the way to then hold the hand of the prince and guide the prince through the level. So that might mean killing off enemies as the wolf. It might mean pushing around blocks or throwing blocks and like stacking things up to create bridges and like staircases for the prince to then try and climb up. Because the prince will only jump if he's holding hands with you, so he can't really go very far on his own. You can direct the prince occasionally, and that can be really, really handy for him to like cross really, really narrow, wobbly bridges that can only support one person at one time. But one of the other things that this game plays with quite a lot is like weight and ballast puzzles. So the prince counts as one weight, the princess is one weight, but if you transform into the wolf is worth two. So it might mean that you'll need to transform as the wolf to kind of like pendulum weights up and down to try and move the prince, and then you'll call out to the prince and say move forward, and it'll like move forward a little bit, and then that will kind of swing the balance round and around you go. And it's really clever like that. It reminds me, particularly with the holding hands element, of Ico from PlayStation 2 and the remaster on PS3. And it's one of those games that you do feel the bond between two characters, and even though it's a single player experience and you only ever really play as the princess / wolf, it really tugs at the heartstrings and you cheer on the relationship between them. There's other things as well where you can like pick flowers and give it to the prince so that the prince stops being sad, that kind of thing. It's just, there's so much beauty and niceness to it. I love the soundtrack as well. It's very naturalistic and folklory, because the game takes place basically in a forest. And whilst the black and white aesthetic may not necessarily appeal to everyone, I really liked that kind of almost calligraphy-like style. I'm not thinking Okami, but it's one of the ones that's kind of similar-ish in like a really highly stylized drawn design. This does something similar, but just in a black and white context. The game itself is really easy-ish, in terms of like puzzles aren't obtuse. It gives you a set of rules and it sticks to it, and I really appreciated the game for that, because it could have, particularly when it's playing with weight and moving people around and that kind of thing, it can cause you issues where you're like, I'm not really sure about like where to go next. I always felt like I knew because the levels are quite compact. There's 25 levels in all to get through, so the game isn't massively long. It will take you 4 or 5 hours perhaps to get through, but there's plenty of replayability. And one of the things that kind of confused me a little bit is that a lot of the trophies and achievements around this game are kind of around speedrunning levels, which to me goes against the nature of this game. I found this game really quite not zen-like, because there's a lot going on, but it was one of those that I could take my time with it, and I wanted to take my time with this game to get through it because I was enjoying the experience. So it kind of clashed a little bit against what I felt like the game was designed in terms of feel for me to go with. But yeah, absolutely. I spotted the trailer and I was like, yeah, that does look up my street. And then I didn't necessarily buy it on release day, and I caught it a couple of days later, and I'm so glad that I did. It has really, really captured my imagination and my heart in gaming, and yeah, I recommend it to anyone that likes 2D platformy / puzzle games that isn't going to tax your brain, but that you'll get really invested in emotionally, and yeah, it does what it does really well. So that is The Lyra Princess and the Blind Prince, out now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.